Hello, my name is Paul Byrne from www.trancework.net. When I meet people and they find out that I'm a clinical hypnotherapist, a question I always seem to get asked is, what is hypnosis? There's many different ways to answer that question, and no way is really wrong or right. It's just different ways of describing something that's quite natural. I like to describe hypnosis as a recipe. And what do I mean by that? Let's use our imagination just for a short while. Just imagine that you have a kitchen, and the kitchen is modern, up to date, has all the latest equipment, and it's fully stocked with any food, any fruit, any vegetable you can think of, exotic spices, exotic oils. Just imagine that if the only thing that you'd ever been taught to cook was hard-boiled eggs, you didn't know how to make anything else, didn't trust yourself to make anything else, the only thing you could make is hard-boiled eggs. Those other ingredients, those other fruits and spices would just go by unnoticed, because you would only use a certain amount of equipment and a certain food to make your hard-boiled eggs. One day a friend comes to visit and they're feeling a bit peckish, a bit hungry. So you offer them something to eat and they accept. So you rush into the kitchen and start to prepare a double helping of boiled eggs. And your friend's just looking around and innocently asks you, I see that you've got so much food here, and your equipment is so up to date. You must be really into your cooking. What else is it that you cook? And you admit to your friend that the only thing you know how to cook is hard-boiled eggs. That's the only thing you've ever cooked. So your friend says, doesn't that get boring, having the same thing every day? Doesn't it get boring to do the same thing day in, day out? Don't you want to experience something else? Wouldn't you like to experience something else? And you have to admit that hard-boiled eggs, even though they're nice, not every day, not the same every day, every meal. So your friend decides to help you out. Your friend gets a bit of paper and a pen and from memory writes down a recipe for a vegetable lasagna. And your friend says, give this a try. You've got the ingredients, you've got the equipment, you've got everything you need. Play around. Have a bit of fun. Just experiment. Give this a try. Be creative. So, you loosely follow the recipe. Start to get the ingredients together that you're going to use. Start to use the equipment. Start to deal with and cope with something that has been unfamiliar to you. Something new. And you explore and you try this and you try that. And you have some fun. Experiment. Handling something different, something new. So when you finish cooking, you're quite proud of yourself. feels quite good to have a new experience, to deal with different things in the kitchen, to handle the kitchen in a different way. You and your friends sit down to eat the vegetable lasagna, and it's amazing. Not that it's the perfect vegetable lasagna. It's amazing because of the new taste that you experience, new flavours, new textures. And you realise something. Something begins to make sense to you. You get a new perspective that you don't have to have the same thing. You don't have to do the same thing every day, day in, day out. That you're not limited, that you're not restricted to just making a hard-boiled egg. You could make anything. That you have a lot of potential. You could make anything. Casserole, stew, pies, salads, anything that you can think of. So you realise that it wasn't that you didn't have the ingredients or the equipment. They were always there. You just needed a new recipe to play with and explore. Thoughts and feelings and memories, habits, routines, behaviours, responses, reflexes are all parts of and in combination with each other how we experience life, how we experience things, how we know things. They're all ingredients that, when put together in certain measures, in certain ways, give us our experience of ourselves. We often find ourselves in certain situations or environments, and we have certain thoughts and certain feelings. Sometimes we can predict that we'll have a certain habit, a certain response, a certain way of behaving. Sometimes it works out well for us, sometimes not so well. Sometimes we tend to choose the same thoughts and the same feelings, the same habits, the same routines. It can be easy to believe sometimes that this is the only way we can be, even though we know life can be different. Sometimes we just fail to notice, or even know how to make life different. So if you think of hypnosis as a simple recipe, more than anything else, as a way to put things together differently, things that are already there, things that you already have. A pinch of this, sprinkle of that, dollop of this, drop of that. If you think of yourself as the head chef, the head cook of a modern, up-to-date, fully stocked kitchen, then I don't know what new flavour you'll cook up for yourself. What experience, what new taste, what new way to experience the world you'll create for yourself. My name's Paul Byrne from www.trancework.net.